Um, yeah, so I'm Eric Holmes, currently on the SC CGSA assigner for SSC and DOCA. I've been refing for, was it 13 years now?
Wow.
Yeah, at least 13. Um, been in the area from Norwich, southeast area for, I don't know, from 40, 44 years? Yeah, 44 years now. So do a little bit of high school, not into college yet. That's too much running, and that's about me. Who's next?
Should I go next? Hi everyone, Ben Brunson, born and raised in Griswold, Connecticut for 24 years now. This is my 10th year of officiating. I officiate soccer, basketball, football, and girls lacrosse. Currently going year round, I officiate full time. I'm a mentor, referee, and assigner without work at the moment. And I think that's everything.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put that. I'm a mentor. Jeez.
He's also a mentor.
Yeah. Hi, y'all. TJ Kroll. Born and raised 16 years, Colchester, Connecticut. I ref all over the state. Third year being a ref. I ref at all different levels. Just trying to expand my knowledge on the great sport of refereeing. I also am a soccer player myself for Bacon Academy.
Hi guys, my name is Donnie Owens. I have been reffing soccer for 32 years now. I do rec, high school, and college. I have never played the game. For growing up down south, we didn't have soccer. So I came in it as a coach for my kids and then as a ref. And we're here to basically just give our refs some support, give some tips, and discuss the knowledge that we have and give everybody support all the way through.
Just like Donnie said, we're just here to give our knowledge on about football or soccer, if you must. You know, the way that we see different things, it's kind of like a round table discussion. You know, we may not agree, but as long as we get the call right, that's pretty much what everybody wants. So again, we're just here to try to help the younger referees have a little conversation and go from there.
And in the future, we may be going live, so that'll be a chance for you guys at home to interact with us and ask us some of those questions you may not understand about the game or about refereeing in general, like how to become a ref. But we will touch on some of those topics, like how to become a ref, in these videos later to come. Keep in mind, we're all human just like you, so not only do we make mistakes on the field, but also we have lives of our own. So it might not be a very consistent streaming, like it might not be every Monday, but we'll do our best to get streams and live videos out to you guys.
What we don't want you to do is we don't want you to be intimidated by the position that you're accepting about becoming a ref. You've got 50 some odd years of reffing experience sitting around this table. However, when you step on the field, you have the same rights, responsibilities, and authority that we have when we step on there. The coaches, the players, the parents, they're going to see you differently because of your age. There's nothing we can do about that. We can't hide you. We can't put makeup on you. We can't make you look older than what you are, because if we could do that, it would make us look younger.
Yeah.
But with that, hold your position. When you make a call, make the call and move on. Each one of us will discuss of how we prepare for the game, what we do prior to us getting on the field, what we do once we're on the field, and then what we do once we're during the game. And then each and every one of us, as we come off the field, we take a couple of minutes, we talk about the game. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I change for that? This is the stuff that we want to hear from you guys, of how can we help you to become better refs. You're going to walk off a field one day and say, I'm never doing this again. Absolutely not. Or I can't wait for my next game.
Yeah.
You're going to have highs and lows for this, just like everything else in life.
So we'll just start as since I'm an assigner. So I get games from higher up, and what they do, they preload it into CSRP, and then I push it out as an email to everyone. Make sure it's like, hey, if you're on my list, here's the games that I need referees for. Some games require one ref, some games require 3 refs. So I'll sign it, I'll put it out there, and whoever gets back to me through email, text, phone call, smoke signal, whatever, then I'll put them on that game. So let's just take a 3-man system. Let's go, Donnie accepts the game as the center referee, TJ accepts it as AR1, and Mr. Brunson here accepts it as AR2. So they accept it, I get the notification that they accept it, great, the game's covered. Here it is, Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. Usually what you should do prior to that, you can go on the website, you log in, you get your, put the information in, and then you see, okay, I have Donnie, TJ, and Brenson on my game. You start communicating with them. You can talk to them via text, phone call, email. CSRP has it so that you can text and email both of the, those types of communication to them. So there's really no excuse why you can't communicate unless you just, if it's not working, which we all know technology has its flaws, then you just be able to reach out to someone and we'll be able to help you. But let's go in the perfect world, you're able to reach out to your other referees for the game. So usually probably during that time period within the week, reach out, hey, my name is such and such, especially if you're a new ref. You should reach out, hey, I'm such and such, I'm new to this is my first game, and just do a little explanation of yourself, or you can also discuss what color jerseys you're gonna wear, where you're gonna meet, have you been to this place before? Also, who has flags, who has extra cards, those types of things that just in case if one ref forgets, you have backup. And then who wants to take it from there?
Should we add in like ever so slightly advanced, I guess, tips and tricks for this? I always like asking my partners if they've officiated either of these teams this season. Sometimes, you know, Mr. Donnie, he likes to officiate X team from X location. He might have had 3 red cards last game. He might have had the same matchup last game. This could be a resumption of a forfeit terminated game. Could be something like that. So our other partners might have some other advice we can ask along with the jersey colors and meeting place and all that. So now that we've had our pre-game communication, not pre-game, pre-game, now we've arrived at the field. We've arrived at our predetermined location. We will now walk in the field. We can walk in the field together. You know, if one of us is arriving 15, 20 minutes before the game, that's also fine. We can meet at this spot. We've already determined that. At this point, we can talk about our pregame. Our pregame, as a center referee, just what you expect. If you don't know what to expect, ask your partners what they expect. How are we doing for eye communication? Are we going to be verbal at all? Are we confident at all? Do we have any nerves and butterflies before the game? Is this our first, big game? Is this our first game at all? Just kind of set the ground and expectations for our partners so we can all be on the same page. I have definitely learned the hard way that when our partners and myself are not on the same page, it makes it look real rough. Even if it's a U10 with 3 referees somehow, it looks real bad. Anything else for pregame, guys?
Well, let's back it up a little farther than that. We'll go along with Eric and Ben. Prior to getting out of your car, and for some of you very junior refs, you're getting out of your parents' car. Mom and dad are going to be driving you, so remind them you're at their mercy. Thank you, mom and dad, for doing this, or big brother, big sister, whoever's taking you. Try to show up early. Try to get there at least 15 minutes, if not 30 minutes ahead of time. We all know that everybody's schedule is a little busy for that. By the time you step out of your car and walk away from it, you should be ready to walk onto the field. That's your socks pulled up. That's your jersey tucked in. That's a watch, not an iPhone that's got a timer, not the big clock around running from there. A whistle, even though you're probably going to be an AR. Have a whistle just in case. Could be an emergency from that. Have flags from that. Have a set of cards. Yellow up here, red back there in the back to where you can't get to it. You want to be as perfectly ready to walk onto the field than to start your pre-game from there, because that's how everyone else is going to view you. me as a center ref, it's the first time I've ever refed with you, and you walk up, your socks are halfway down, your jersey's hanging out from there, you don't have anything ready, your flag's hanging out over the back for that. Instantly, I've already knocked you down a couple of pegs in there. And it's first impressions are extremely hard to get over for that. So come in, the nice shiny new ref that you are for that, and we'll build on it for there. We don't expect you to be perfect, but we expect you to be presentable for the game itself. Because we can teach you from there, teach you where to stand, teach you how to throw the flag, teach you what to say, items of that nature. That's all part of it. Your biggest part is you decided to be a ref, be prepared to walk onto the field, be prepared to run some more, and then take positive criticism or pointers for that we've all given. We've all, as TJ said, we're human. We're all going to miss something. We're all going to call it the wrong way. You're going to point this way and say it's the red team's ball. There's another red team player out there.
Yeah, I've done that.
Whoever's going this way, that's where it's going.
Yep.
We're all going to do stuff like that. We're all human. But we want this to go as easy and retain you for as long as possible. Because once you get it in your head that this isn't for you because of whatever, mom screaming at you, someone else is screaming at you, guys, this is part of life. You know, this is why we need and want to retain refs. We'll support you 100%. Nobody's here to let anybody, be called out. And as the adults on the field, theoretically, we are, if something was to happen, we're the point of contact for that. We will intercede anything from that. We are there, your center ref is there to protect you at all times.
Now, junior refs, you can start this preparation that they're talking about the night before. Being someone who's a newer ref, here's what I would do. 20 minutes before I went to bed, or 20 minutes at nighttime when I had it, if I knew I had a game the next day, I would literally open up my bag and I would take everything out. I would say, what do I need for my game tomorrow? What are backups that I can bring? And do I have anything in here that's unnecessary? My first game this winter at Wide World, I opened up my bag. I found, hey, my cleats that are in here are too small for me to start using. Maybe I should grab my cleats from this soccer season and put them in the bag. So I did that. Now I'm not going around with size 10.5 when I'm a size 13 foot, cramped in them, trying to run around in those shoes. Another thing you can do, I also opened my bag. I found pretzels in there that were at least a month old. You don't want to be carrying around pretzels that you don't need in your bag when you're looking for maybe a flag the next day, and you pull up pretzels and your other two, whether it's a center AR or two ARs, are looking at you like, where did he bring food from? You want to show prepared, having what you need, have the backups, and ready to go. And you can start that process the night before.
If I may, speaking of backups, I was actually working a 6 set out in Stamford, Connecticut, and ironically enough, it was a solo ref. So, little story time here. Totally forgot my red cards, my red card, my yellow card. I had extra whistles, so I had backups for that, but no cards. To make a long story oh so short, what I had done was I went to the vending machine and I got a bag of Cheez-Its and a bag of Lay's. So, note to the crowd here, eat the food before you give a card. I ate the chips before I gave a yellow card, and it was even more satisfying. And they're both now hanging up in my room because of that. And also, doing numerous sports, it sounds like the consensus for youth soccer is we're showing up, getting out of our car, or once we get ready to walk towards the field, jersey on, tucked in. Is that correct?
Yes, 100%. I mean,
I do have other sports that it's acceptable to show up to the court, for example, in an all-black shirt or your undershirt, and then we put our jersey on over that on the court. So youth soccer, jersey on, tucked in.
Prior to stepping on the pitch.
Yeah.
There we go.
and here's the thing with that. If it's a cold day, sure, you can show up with a sweatshirt over top of you to stay warm before the game begins. But underneath the sweatshirt, that yellow shirt should be tucked in. Don't just think, oh, just because these coaches can't see the shirt because I have my sweatshirt on, that just because they can't see it. When you take that sweatshirt off, they're looking at you. Even if you think nobody from that crowd is looking at you, I promise, the second you step out of your car, whether you have the yellow shirt shown or not, you are being watched at all times.
You know, to piggyback off of TJ, you know, right now we're getting ready to go into the spring, or spring season. So it's some days during the day it's going to be warm, but maybe early morning it's still freezing your behind. So, you know, again, we're not MLS style or EPL or whatever referee, so we have some kind of leeway. However, like TJ was saying, you have to dress for the weather. You know, especially, yes, it's going to be days that it's going to be cold. You need the sweatshirt over. But underneath, you have your long sleeve or short sleeve with an undershirt, something to stay warm in. I couldn't tell you how many, and we did, I think it was the last game of the season, we had one young lady that she just had shorts and her jersey short sleeve, and it started to rain and maybe some little snowflakes in there, wind, all kinds. It was just, it was brutal, even for us that had everything on. It was just brutal. So I don't ever want to see her suffer again. So
we sent her to her mom's
Yeah.
card. She came out with
bear.
kitty, the pink kitty cat pajama.
Yeah, Hello Kitty, jammies, just to keep it warm.
And we didn't care. We loaned her sweats, we loaned her gloves, we loaned her hats and everything else. Again, everybody's here to back everybody up for that. Along with Ben for their, we have all been out here to where we have blown the whistle. We have asked the individual to come to you.
Yes.
We don't go to the individual comes to you, and you reach in, and there's nothing there. Cards are gone. You've lost your watch. You've lost a whistle.
Your watch is broken.
Watch could just die.
You've
Yeah.
lost your pen that you keep in there. That's why when we talk about having backups to backups.
Yeah.
I'm a former naval submariner, and submarines teach you to have backups for everything when things go wrong out there. But on the soccer field, things will go wrong, which is nice to have your partner. Can I borrow a red card, please? And that gives them an assist for going the red card for the year.
Yeah.
But with that, it is our intentions for this is to go over, after we go over some very general items for this, we'd like to get into some specific items that you will see that we will enforce where you should be. Where should you be standing? If you see this as an AR, what's your responsibility with that little flag that you have in your hand? Is it going straight up? Are we going to wiggle it a tad bit? While you're wiggling it, are you pointing to anything in particular? Are you going to point for certain things? All of that helps your center ref to make the proper call. These used to be called your ARs. The assistant part in there is you're assisting the referee. People listen to us more because we have a whistle. Anybody that knows anything about soccer, and with you as an AR, when you throw that flag up, it galvanizes everybody for that. The players are going to stop playing, or they're going to slow down, which causes an issue with the play for that. Just because you don't have a whistle to stop everybody for that. It is, once that flag goes up, we need to communicate, whether we're communicating verbally, we're communicating with hand signals for whatever. You'll see, TJ, I've never actually refed with TJ, but I'm sure sometime along this year we will. Ben and Eric, we've done every level there is to be done out there. As I'm your center and you're my AR, every few minutes I'm just pointing at you, giving you a thumbs up. Are you alive over here? You see it for stuff for that? You'll get to the point where you have your own mechanics. Anytime there's a dead ball, for me at this level, I physically will point my finger to midfield to see if there's a sub waiting for there. You'll learn these little tricks from everybody. And that's our intentions for these training videos, is to give you guys some inside stuff to where you don't have to learn all of it on your own. But having said that, we're still learning.
Absolutely.
We're learning from each and
100%.
every one that's out there. Anytime that you're out there with somebody, you take something away from somebody. good, bad, or indifferent. Ooh, I don't think I want to run like that. Or I like the way that person, runs for that. I like the way they're snapping the flag. I like the way that they're pointing for this stuff. We're still at a learning capability for this, and that's what we're here for, is to teach the up and coming guys. Because eventually, one of these days, I'm old. I do want to retire one of these days.
Me too.
And rest, something I will touch on that Donnie mentioned was that gloves. Gloves are very, very important. If you cannot move yes, the undersleeves are important to keep those muscles warm, but something that is crucial, whether it is summer and it is 90 degrees out, you don't know if a storm is coming overhead and all of a sudden within a course of an hour it changes 30 degrees. Now, I know that's not very realistic, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Gloves are essential. I always keep a pair of gloves in my ref bag because you need this. Pick up your whistle, pull out a card. Whatever it is, you need to be able to move your hands and fingers. Hand signals, even as a center ref, giving that hand signal, pointing to that. You need to be able to move your hands, and that was one of the things that stuck with me over many years. That's crucial.
That was like that Middletown game. I think at night I was like,
Shaking so much.
It was cold the whole weekend. Yeah, we decided, hey, are we in it together? Yeah, but it was just windy. It snowed a little bit the first game, and everyone. We're talking.
Yeah, after a while, everything.
Everything, and even the players. That's how you know if the players are working with you. Is when they don't even care at that point. Yeah, it's going this way. Who cares whatever the score is? So that's in a good sense. That was actually a good day. That you had in all our games we didn't have any yellows, and that they played nice.
Yep.
It was too cold.
It's too cold.
Now I want to touch on the thing you said about yellows. You could have a game that is really crazy and you have to give out yellows. Don't be afraid to give out yellows. I'm only a third-year ref, and I had a game last night at Wide World. It was two really competitive teams. For the sake of not outing the teams, I'm going to just refer to them as white and red. I had the white team was working their butts off. They had about maybe a 4-point lead. And the red team was getting really mad at this and starting to play really aggressive. I could see both coaches from the sidelines getting fired up. And all of a sudden, I just see a sweep. I'm like, that's not okay. That's a foul. It wasn't intentional. The girl fell, but it was still a foul. She took the other girl out with her. I called the foul. Coach was running his mouth, told him enough. Then I blow the whistle to signal the direct kick. And I see one of the white players run alongside this red girl who's taking it, and she just pushes her out the way. I'm like, you just can't do that. I hold up the yellow. Now the coach from the red, who got this call, was still running his mouth at that. I give the girl from white a yellow, and she's standing right in front of the coach, and then I lift it slightly higher, and I made sure to acknowledge the coach. I'm third-year ref. That coach was probably about 50 years old. Did he intimidate me yet a bit? Yes. Did I not like him yelling? Yes. But after I gave him that yellow, he shut his mouth and he went back to the bench. I'm not saying that as abuse the yellow cards and constantly hand them out. I'm saying young refs, don't be afraid to use them. Because whether you're 2 ARs or 65 and 70, or they're new refs,
like Donnie Ainsley.
or they're new refs,
I had to say something.
whichever age they are, nobody is going to be mad at you for using that yellow when you think it's right. As us as refs, the most important thing is that we support each other and stick by each other in the call. And that goes for you two ARs, whether you're on the sidelines and you don't agree with the call, that your center made goldfish screened. Forget about it and move on. You're there to support your other two refs and to help them.
That's the biggest thing we got with young referees. Why, I hate to say it, they don't last the season, is because you have a older adult going blah blah blah, yelling. I was taught, and I'm sure everyone else was taught, you respect your elders. Didn't matter if you like them or not, you always respect it, but then you tense up. We can't stress this enough. It doesn't matter if it's us or any other referees that are out there. If a coach is behaving in an uncoach-like setting, which we all know what that is, you can't be afraid to show a yellow. You don't have to go up and give the yellow right in their face. No. You got to have some distance, but you got to understand that this is unacceptable. U.S. soccer is really making a big push on this, and every state in the U.S. is making a big push on referee verbal abuse, and hate to say it, sometimes referee physical abuse. That'd be a whole different topic on a different day.
And something I will touch on that topic is that, the game I mentioned, I was at Rye Brook, Montville. It's a sports facility. So don't be afraid to pause the clock if you need that extra 10 seconds to write down that yellow information. You don't want to be so stressed out, I called a yellow and now everyone wants to get on and hurry up with the game, that you're freaking out and that player was from so-and-so town. Like, you want to make sure you get down that name, that number, what team were they from, the minute in the game where it occurred, so that when you're filling out your game report and it asks you, well, what happened, you don't half-butt it and you have an assigner texting you, hey, what happened at that game? Like, you didn't say the minute that this occurred. And you're like, I don't know. Take that extra minute to get down that information and save yourself the trouble in the long run.
All right, I think that's quite it for our first session. Again, we're very new to this, so it's really no structure. Just bear with us. We'll eventually get to a more decent, I guess you could say, structure on it. But at the same time, it's kind of like I said, it's not a round table, but it's an open table. So we may digress from one topic, tell stories, and then come back. Again, we just can't stress this enough. We're trying something new in the area. We want to retain referees, and a lot of referees know us. So we're taking our time out of our day to try to help everyone else. So please like, subscribe, make good comments, bad comments. Again, we could take constructive criticism, bad criticism, whatever you want to call it. We can take that. But if you guys don't say anything, how are we supposed to improve? So I know for me, again, I'm Eric Holmes. This is Ben Brunson,
TJ Kroll,
and
Donnie Owens.
And welcome to
call it both ways.
Call It Both Ways Ref, or we'll end it Call It Both Ways Ref. However, we'll work on that later.
So on that note, make sure to leave a comment and kind of content you want to see. Any questions you have for us now, whether it's on your public or private account, I promise you that you will stay anonymous if you wish. Again, like you said, we're just here to help you, and that's what this YouTube channel is. Helping refs, helping coaches, helping players, helping anyone.
That's it. Bye, guys.
Bye, refs.